Hi there. Today we're going to be looking at the topic of corresponding angles, which are sometimes also known as F angles. So our learning intentions for this lesson is to help you understand and be able to describe what is meant by a corresponding angle. You should be able to identify corresponding angles in diagrams and find missing angle sizes. Okay, first of all, what is a corresponding angle? So corresponding angles happen when a pair of parallel lines are crossed. It can be thought of as the angles forming an F shape. So if we look at the picture here, we've got two parallel lines and they're crossed by another straight line going through them. So what we've got to look for in pictures like this are to identify some F shapes. So if I highlight here, we can see we've got a shape like a capital letter F. And what happens with corresponding angles is that the angles inside the points of your F are equal to each other. So if I mark that angle there, that's inside one point of my F, and here's the one inside the other point of my F. If we use our proper angle terminology, we've got angle DGH and angle PHK are corresponding and are therefore equal to each other. So angle DGH is this angle here, angle PHK is this angle here. Okay, so what we're looking for here is to find some pairs of corresponding angles. So again, we've got our two parallel lines, which is crossed by one other straight line going through it. So let's identify an F shape. So just like in the diagram before, we've got an F shape here. So the angles inside the points of the F have to be equal to each other. So these two red circle angles are corresponding angles. But we can also find another F in this diagram. Here we've got a back to front F, but it still classes as a corresponding angle. So we can use the same principles as we used before to find a pair of angles the same size as each other. So inside the point of our F, we've got one angle here and one down here. So those angles there are corresponding to each other and are equal. So let's move on. We can use what we know about the corresponding angles to actually find some missing angle sizes. So first of all, here we've got our diagram. We've got our two parallel lines. It's crossed by another straight line, and we've got one angle size marked in at 105 degrees. And we're asked to fill in all the missing angles in this diagram. So first of all, we're going to find the corresponding or the F angles. So let's look for my F shape. Here we are. So if we've got 105 degrees here, we know that 105 degrees has to be down there as well because of the F shape. Okay, so I can get rid of my F and let's see what else we can identify. Now we know that opposite angles are equal, so we can fill in some opposite angles. Here's one, which is 105, it's opposite that one there, so they're equal to each other. And also the same up the top. We've got another opposite angle, so it's equal to the one opposite, and they're both 105. What else can we find out? We know that angles in a straight line add up to 180 degrees. So if we look down here, we've got a straight line going across there. So if we just look at the top half of this line here, we've got 105 degrees there, so 105 plus this angle must add up to 180 degrees. So to find the missing angle, we do 180, take away 105, we'll get 75 degrees, and we can fill that in. And the same thing is going to be true up the very top of the diagram, in this space here, because we've got a straight line there, that also has to be 75 degrees. Okay, so we've got two angles left, and again we can use opposite angles to find the ones that are left. 75 degrees here is opposite 75 there, and finally we've got another 75 degrees at the top, and we've found all the missing angles. Final thing we're going to look at here is just to try and identify some angles corresponding to the ones already marked in the picture. So first of all, we want to find an angle corresponding to this yellow star here. So if we put on our F shape, I'm going to put it on here, it's like a back to front F. So if our yellow star is there, our other one has to be inside the other part of our F. So there we've got our first pair of corresponding angles. So let's look for our next set of corresponding angles. It's the blue one here. If we look, we can see that's the case because we've got the F shape going this way. Okay, next one, our red angle. Oh, it's our purple angle. We've got another F shape, which is more like a normal F shape. So there's our F angles there. And lastly, our red angle. If we look, we've got kind of a backwards, upside down F shape. over here, so these angles are corresponding to each other. Okay, well, I hope you managed to learn something about corresponding angles in this video. Remember, you can play it as often as you like if you need more information.